Yes, yes.
Okay. All right. So what I'll do is I'll make a quick review of what we learned yesterday, and then let's keep Amia also in line with our today's class. So let's start. Yesterday we learnt about modal verbs. So what these modal verbs are? There are we learnt about two types of verbs previously. One was strong verbs and one was weak verbs. Strong verb was which were not following the rules. By rules I mean the conjugation rules.
Yeah, that means regular verb and irregular verb.
Yes, exactly. Regular and irregular. So Amia, you must be remembering, na? For example, if I say kaufen, so this is the infinitive form.
Kaufa. Yeah.
Yeah. So ich kaufe,
Kauft.
yeah, du kaufst.
Kaufst. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
So this was all the conjugations.
Yeah.
Uh,
Stam and
Endung.
endung. Yeah.
Absolutely right. In the likewise, the third category of verbs is modal verbs. Now, modal verbs are also a type of strong verbs. That is, they don't follow the rules. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, what these modal verbs do is they express two type of expressions. One is kind of a I mentioned here, kind of a necessity, all right, and kind of a possibility. I mean, either of these two. For example, in English, we have must, I must do this, I should learn, I want to eat bread. For example, these are all the necessities. And the possibilities could be I can do this, I can swim, I can run. Then I am allowed to smoke a cigarette, or I am not allowed to smoke. This is the possibility. And the third
Mhm.
possibility used to be I like to eat pizza, I like to drink beer, right? So these
Mhm.
were the two necessities and possibilities which we found in English also. So must, should, want to, can, allowed to, like to. These are all the possibilities. Their
Mhm.
counterparts exist in German as well, which are not one-to-one exact counterparts, but still they represent. So the must in English becomes müssen, M-U umlaut S-S-E-N, sollen, wollen, können, dürfen, mögen. Okay. Now
Mhm.
Myogen is again mutated into Myosten, which is uh, uh, which is kind of a more hoffentlich. Um, hoffentlich means more polite, you can say. Okay, which is I will tell you in later on. So going ahead, there are two rules associated which I forgot to tell yesterday, but later on realized. One rule is when we use a modal verb, when we use a modal verb, the main verb, just note this, the main verb goes to the end. I will give you some more examples, and for others, it is revision also, because this is kind of a new topic for everybody. So the main verb goes to the end, and the main verb is in infinitive form. Infinitive form. And the second rule is modal verb normally stays in second position. Stays in second position. So I'll take up some examples, then it will be much clear. And for others, it can be a kind of a revision. So, for example, I will say, I must learn. So in German, it will become, Raghu, can you try?
Ich
Müssen.
Yeah.
uh, müsse
Uh,
lernen.
yes. Okay. So how we create this sentence is, first thing is, as I mentioned, modal verb normally stays in the second position. So this is the muss. Okay. So this is in the second position. Now, again, friends, this musen is conjugated to mus. That I will tell you again, especially to Amia. So, ich muss lernen means, oh, Entschuldigung, this is not L-E-R-N-E-N. So, ich muss lernen means the main verb is shifted to the last position in the sentence. And the modal verb comes at the second position and it is conjugated as per the requirement. Uh, so, here we learned this table because I am not going to do the complete revision of yesterday's class, but just want to give a glimpse or revise the highlights. So as you see, ish, when I am using ish, then I am using the mus form, okay, first person singular. If I use the second person singular, it will become must. That is, if I will say you must learn, then it will become du musst lernen, right? So likewise, these were the various forms of modal verbs that we learned yesterday. Amia, I will strongly recommend that you please see the YouTube recording of yesterday
Mm-hmm.
because this is something which is extremely important and extremely relevant in daily German lives. Because you will almost like every day you will find at least 2 or 3 such instances wherein these modal verbs are used in regular lives.
Mm.
Okay, so what was pending was three three verbs that were pending were können, sollen, and wollen. So we will start with these ones now. Okay, just a moment. All right. So first I will take up können. So können straight away means can, right? So if I say I can swim. So Chetan, can you give it a try? Swim is schwimmen.
Ich kann schwimmen.
Yeah. Absolutely right. Ich kann schwimmen. All right. So let me first tell you the conjugation of can. Where is it? Yeah, here it is. All right. So when we conjugate können, it becomes ich kann. I'm not very sure, but I think it is K-A-N-N. Du kannst. Then erstes again is kann. Then wir können. Oh, wir. Then ihr könnt. Sie können. Especially for Amia, I would like to mention here that although these are irregular verbs, or you can say strong verbs which do not follow the regular rules of conjugation,
Mm-hmm.
still if you see, there's a good news that ish form here and earliest form remains almost the same, or maybe like every time it remains the same. Once we are done with this table, then we can find out.
Mm-hmm.
Like ish, muss, do muss, right? So invariably, you can if you remember only one form, you can straight away recall the earliest form also because it is going to be the same.
Yeah.
Ich möchte, erstes möchte. All right. So remember this: Ich kann, du kannst, erstes kann, wir können, ihr könnt, sie können. Sie können also is umlaut. So let me give some practical examples. We are talking about können. One more important factor or parameter, especially for AMIA, as I said, normally this modal verb comes in the second position. Okay, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever may be. So modal verb mostly comes in the second place in a sentence. But in case if we are making a question, then modal verbs comes at the first place. Modal verb comes at first place. So especially for Raghu, if I give you a sentence, um, if you are asking somebody, can you swim? Okay. So Raghu, can you give it a try? How it would look like?
Can't
Yeah.
do swimmen.
Yes, absolutely correct. Can't do schwimmen.
Swimmen, yeah. Swimmen.
Absolutely right. S-E-H schwimmen. S-C-H-W. I forgot this spelling. Schwimmen. S-C-H-W-I-M-M-E or whatever. Okay. Now, in case if there is an answer, and he says the next person to whom Raghu asked, yes, I can swim. Or maybe let's say I don't want to make it too complicated. Let's say he replies, I can swim. So Chetan, can you give it a try? How the sentence should look like?
Ich kann schwimmen.
Yes, ich kann schwimmen. Right, absolutely correct. So you see, especially Amia, you can observe here when we are asking a sentence and we are using a modal verb, then you see I'm using a question. So the modal verb comes at the first position. Can't do schwimmen. So this is, if you see, it is like one-to-one transliteration from English. Yeah, can becomes can't. You is obviously do. Swim becomes schwimmen, right? However, um, yeah, of course, in the answer also it is just the same. I can swim becomes ich kann schwimmen, right?
Yep.
So just make sure that whenever you are using modal verbs as a sentence, then modal verb should always come at the second position. The main verb comes in infinitive. It is not conjugated because you have already conjugated the modal verb, and it is in the infinitive form, right?
Mm,
Any doubt?
no.
No. So, taking yesterday's class into picture, uh, if this person wants to smoke, right, and he wants to ask, right? So here, what do you think? What should be the correct word which can be used? Can I smoke?
Can
Or
ish.
no? Oh, wait a minute. Or am I allowed to smoke?
Allowed to smoke, yeah, that is the correct one.
Yeah. Because what happens? This is because our class is a practical daily life German, so we have to focus upon situations as well. So, can I smoke is something like it's me who is deciding whether I want to smoke or not. Something it becomes like this. Like yesterday, I gave an example. I found a light bulb, LED bulb, which was in the scrap, and I asked, "Can I take it with me?" Right. So it gives a kind of inclination or a signal that I am interested in taking it with me, and that's why I'm asking you, right? So it's like I have pre-decided that I want to take it with me, and I'm still asking you. However, this is not the right way when we are talking in German. You need to calibrate yourselves that the decision depends solely on the second party, right? So am I allowed to smoke will be the right sentence, because you are giving a complete authority to the second party to give you permission, or Erlaubnis, which is permission auf Deutsch, to give you permission to smoke, right? So I mean, as per practical experience, I would rather say that always use darf in such situations. Amia, you referred earlier class where we spoke a lot about darf.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So what I mean to say, in case if you use darf, first of all, you sound very polite, and chances of success are very much higher. Chances of success are higher. That is, if you are giving the next person a full authority and asking them very politely that am I allowed to take this bulb, or am I allowed to swim here, or am I allowed to smoke here, then they will take it in a very polite way, and most of the chances, even if they don't want to allow you, they might allow you if you ask darf. And if you ask Khan, then it is like you are doing a formal question only, so which will give you not much, that which may or may not give you that much success rate, right? So that was just a information which was out of syllabus. All right, so now we are done with können. Now the same lines comes should, which is sollen. So this is conjugated like this. Let me zoom the screen. Yeah. So this becomes ich soll, du sollst. Then Terzius again becomes soll. Wir sollen, ihr sollt, sie sollen. Okay. So this is exactly the same like others. There's no such big difference. I will take some few examples to give you a situational um, examples. So we are on sollen. Let me think upon it. Should I just a minute. Should I run now? Okay. So Raghu, can you give it a try?
Okay. Soll,
Yeah.
ich. So what is this one for run?
Oh, sorry, I did not tell you. Now becomes nun,
Okay.
and run becomes laufen.
Yeah. Soll ich nun laufen?
Yes, very nice. Laufen. So Raghu did a perfect job because he beobachtet. Beobachtet means observed that there is another word which is coming in the sentence, and he took care that the modal verb is used. So the infinitive form of this verb should come in the last position. So thereby, soll ich nun laufen is the perfect sentence. The only thing is there should be a question mark as well.
Yeah, correct.
So yeah. So now I am giving it like this. Yes, you should run now. Chetan, try it.
Ja, du
Hmm.
soll. Sorry, du
Uh,
sollst
yeah.
nun laufen.
Yes, 100% correct. Absolutely right. So you also took care that first of all, the modal verb is used in the second position and which is conjugated also. And nun will be used in the middle way, and laufen is the main verb which will be in the infinitive and at the last position. All right. Let me give a few more examples here. Mm. Now again, some practical example. I am the principal of a school. I am very angry, and here are the small kids. Okay, so take into consideration the relation or situation. So I am telling you all should study now. Try it, friends. Raghu may give it a try.
Yeah. So okay. Year.
Perfect. Yeah.
I think conjugation for should for this one.
Sure. Wait. I'll show you. Sorry, it's hidden here. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Here it is.
Yeah. Zolt.
Year. Yes. Years old.
Zolt. Yeah. I think we should remember by heart it. Yeah.
Yeah. You have to.
Zolt. Nun. I think studies, learn, and only, right?
Perfect. Oh, sorry. Lerne. Absolutely right. Right. So 100 perfect sentence, because uh, once you are talking to a group of people and you are a senior to them, so you have to use ear. Likewise, even if this principal is talking to maybe teachers or to a set of principals who are of the same cadre but are not senior to him, then again he will be using only ear. Perfect. Let me think of one more sentence. Let's say question. Sorry. See, friends, one more thing I want to express here is uh, give extra emphasis on the capitalization of words. If you see, Zolen is a verb, but again, if it comes at the first place in a sentence, first place, then it should be capitalized. As a typical English grammar also, right? That is the first character in a sentence has to be capitalized. So if you see, should I run now? So here also I mentioned it S as capital, and obviously the Zol will also start with capital because it is the first character. Here S is capital because it is the first character in a sentence. However, if you see, yes, you should run now becomes ja, du sollst nun laufen. So here S becomes small. So give extra emphasis to these factors as well, because in case if you are writing a letter or maybe you are writing an email or something, then you should always observe that or maybe take care that your capitalization should be perfect. And just to mention here, all nouns has to be capitalized irrespective of their position, right? Just make sure. Okay. So what I wanted to ask you guys was, um, should we sleep now, right? So we, when we use we now, so it is irrespective of formal, informal, whatever it be. It is always the same. So any tries, Raghu?
Uh, Zol. Zolan, right?
Yes.
Zolan. We.
Wear.
Yeah, we are sorry. Nun.
Mhm. Yeah.
For sleep.
Schlafen.
Schlafen.
Schlafen. Yeah, schlafen question mark.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely correct. With question mark as well. Right. Now, Amia, you can also try one. A simple sentence. We should eat now. Amia, give it a try.
Oh, yeah. So sollen wir?
This is not a question, huh? This
Oh,
is a sentence, answer,
okay.
simple sentence.
Wir,
Yeah.
again the counterpart for wir with sollen is refer the table,
Uh,
please.
yes. Actually, for wear, it is always the infinitive form. You see, here we are, wear is the infinitive form always.
Sollen, yeah.
Yes, here we are. Where is it? Yeah.
Wir sollen uh,
This
nun
is
essen.
SN. Yes, nun SN. Absolutely right. Perfect. Just to revise, wear is the for we. Zullen is the conjugation form of third person, that is wear, and nun and Essen is coming at the infinitive in the last position. Infinitive and last position. Perfect. All right. So now we are done with all but one, and the last one is wollen. This you have to give extra emphasis because what happens, you will see it yourself. Just a moment. So let me first conjugate this. So ich will, du willst, er will, wir wollen, then comes ihr wollt, sie wollen. So why I'm emphasizing on this wollen is, you see here comes will, W-I-L-L.
Yeah,
So
English word.
yes. Now, no. The only thing is, the problem here is it is contrasting with English. If you see Deutsche Welle, you might find Angela will mehr stärken. Okay. So just to give you a glimpse of it, mehr means more.
More.
Stärken means to make it strong. To make it strong. I mean, it could be in relation with, let's say, Corona lockdown, or maybe Corona rules or something, or maybe military rules, whatever it may be. So, if you see this sentence now, the first thing that will come to your position, to your mind will maybe like Angela is planning to do something, or Angela in future will make it more strong, something like this, because this becomes will to be in future. So this is the first thing that comes into mind. However, the meaning of the sentence is Angela wants more rules or more strong, right? So here it means wants, right? Um, ich will schwimmen. So this will give you a feel of I want to swim. I will swim, right? Ich will. But the meaning actually is I want to swim, right? So be very careful with this will, because the first time you will learn, you will encounter this word now. The first thing that comes in your mind is in future, something related with future. Okay. So just to give one more, just to revise it. The first position will be ich will, du willst, er sie es will, wir wollen, ihr wollt, sie wollen. Now our table is complete, and I would request you all to please take a screenshot here, a neat and tidy screenshot. And again, I would request you all to revise it at as much as possible, at least 2 or 3 times a day, because this is too much and this is quite confusing as well. Yeah. So please take a screenshot. I'm also doing it. Windows Stroke. Yeah.
So Siddharth, there are only 6 modal verbs, correct?
Um, 7, I think. Eins, zwei, drei, vier,
1, 2, 3,
fünf,
4,
sechs,
5.
sieben.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sieben, sorry.
However, as you progress with German language now, there will be a few more added, like werden. These are some type of, you can say as variations of existing verbs. So we are not focusing upon them right now. So for now, you can take it as 7 only.
Okay.
Yeah. So now I will take a few examples of wollen, and probably then we'll be done with today's session. Wollen. Let's say some boss is asking, what do we want to achieve? Okay. Achieve can be, you can use it erration. So anybody, please feel free to give a try.
Will.
This is
What is
was, by the
was?
way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was will do.
This is we. What do
My
we
God,
want
so
to
many.
achieve?
Oh, we. Mm,
Go step by step. Don't get confused. First of all, when we are talking we, so we will be talking about wir,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
wollen wir was
Wollen wir
was uh, eration. What is it? Is it eration?
erreichen?
Eration.
Actually, this could be taken as an exception. I am not sure about it. The actual sentence, the actual answer will be was wollen wir erreichen? This is the actual sentence. Now, as I earlier mentioned that when we are doing a question, then modal verb normally comes at the first position, as you rightly said, wollen wir. But maybe it could be one rule that when we are using a W-Frage, that is W-Frage, then they comes at the first, even if you are using a modal verb. Well, I'm not quite sure. I'll just check out how this rule is broken here. So wollen wir was erreichen is technically right as far as we have learned, but unfortunately I have to erase it because this is not the right one. This right sentence will be was wollen wir erreichen. Okay.
But what happened to do?
No, do is no. You mean this? Mm, no, actually, as I said, na, we cannot do a carbon copy of English and German, right?
Yeah.
So it could be like 7 words of English will correspond to 5 words of German. This is absolutely perfect, right? So like yesterday also I said na, that to dance.
To dance, yeah. To achieve.
Yeah. Yeah, it becomes tanzen. To sell becomes verkaufen. So here you see two is automatically wiped out. There's nowhere used. Yeah. So likewise, it can be, but the actual conversion of this sentence, what do we want to achieve, is was wollen wir erreichen. Okay, let's go for a few more examples here. Just a moment. Um, let's say again, um, I am a parent and I see my kid and standing with a group of kids. Okay, so I am asking them, uh, sorry, do you want to play? I'm asking them. Play, by the way, is spielen. So give it a try, friends, how it should look like.
Willst do s-
Wills do
willst do spielen.
spielen.
Uh, wait. Just observe the situation. I am a parent and I am talking to a group of kids.
Correct, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think if you put all right, we could have catched. Sorry, I think yesterday also we made a
No,
same mistake. Yeah,
deliberately, I did not put all here because till date I'm always using all. So
I,
this may not be always there.
yeah, correct.
Old here spielen.
Yes,
Old years, yes.
absolutely correct. World
Yeah,
here spielen.
I think this one
Wonderful.
usually we'll forget. It's not like
Actually, that's why we say na, English is a funny language.
yeah, correct.
You can be used for many people. You can be used for kid. You can be used for grandfather as well. You can be used for everybody,
Yeah,
right?
correct. See, if it
Yeah.
is from native language, right, we could have wrote correctly. So
That's right. That's right. But you know what? Sometimes, when we are especially when we are in the learning phase, and we are still not confident. At times, it can happen that we make a catastrophic mistake. Yeah. And let's say if I'm talking to some of my client or vendors, and I make any mistake, which he takes in an absolutely opposite way, and then you never know what the consequences can be. So, especially in these scenarios, now we have to be extremely careful. First of all, just find out what is the relation. I mean, you are a senior and they are junior. Because again, if I am talking to CEOs of multiple companies and I use ear, then they will be, like this, fuming like this. That will be their faces.
if you are a board of director for all those companies, then okay.
Yeah, then that's fine. So that we have to take extreme care. Okay, let's say um, 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 how I should start now. Okay, should we drink beer? Let's say, should we drink beer? Now, friends, this is a general revision now. It's not related with only one volen. Now, I request you guys to pick up the right modal verb here.
Sollen.
Yes.
Sollen wir Bier trinken?
Trinken. Beer.
Yes. Bier, beer trinken. Okay, Trinken. Right. ठीक है. Fine. Now another example. Mm, would you like to smoke? Right, friends. Mm. No, see why I'm saying these random questions is because once you are off the street and maybe like you are in a railway or in netto, and somebody asks you this question, would you like to smoke? Right? So you have to now think of yourself which modal verb I should pick up, and you have to do it spontaneously, immediately. Right? So that's why I told you. You remember this photo, and still, can you find out which could be the right modal verb here? Would you
Yeah,
like to smoke?
yeah. The second
Morgan.
Morgan, not Morgan. The second one.
Yes, Mjosten.
Mushten, yeah, Mushten.
Mr.
Yeah. So just think upon it.
Uh, most Mostet is the word.
Yeah, Rauchen.
Most, yeah, Mostets do.
You're going right. Mjostes do
Uh,
Rauchen.
Arokan, yeah.
Right. I will do one thing. I'll post the question here only, so you can see the chart also. Question was, would you like to smoke? Right. Now, again, friends, why I took up this smoke option is we should not get associated when with Durfen, right? Durfen is something which, suppose am I allowed to smoke? So then I will say Durfen, but don't associate smoke with Durfen, right? Because it so happened that when I was learning German some 3 years back, every time I found an example which had smoke and Durfen associated, and then I made up my mind that whenever there is a smoke word, then we have to use Durfen, which is absolutely wrong. Right. Just a couple of more examples. Mm. Now, this is a little tricky. Do you like pizza? Right, friends. Question.
Marks
Marks the
do.
Yes. Marks two.
pizza
Absolutely right.
and
Perfect.
like is.
No, that's it.
That's it. That's it.
But like to is
See,
itself
Ah,
marks.
okay, okay. Sorry.
yes. Here I want to focus upon is Myogen and Myosten are quite same, but it is Myosten is something which is I would rather prefer to, or I would rather like to. Yeah. So I like pizza will become I'll just write down. I like pizza. So it becomes ich mag pizza, right? But as you see, friends, the rules are a little broken here. First of all, I'm using a modal verb here, but there is no main verb, right? So the main verb that used to come at the end is nowhere there. It's not there at all. Second thing is, um, no, because that verb is not there, so there is no second thing also. Now, if I were to ask you, I mean, if I mention it like, I, yeah, I wish to eat pizza. Right. So here it won't be mag. Ich möchte Pizza essen. Pizza essen. You're getting my point, friends? This is a little confusing, but it's
Yeah.
more situational. It's more situational, right? I'll give a more couple of examples.
Sidhu, one question. When you say do you like pizza?
Yeah.
Yeah, that will become a Morgan, right? So if
Yes.
I say I cannot say would you like pizza? I would only use would you like to eat pizza, right? Then only it will
Yeah. That's right. That's right. So it's like a 1920 difference. I mean, it looks very similar, but still there is 1% difference, right? Um,
one is bis.
yeah, 1920. That's right. Uh, let's say, are we allowed to dance? So how it should look like?
Draw fun.
Are we allowed to dance?
Draw fun. We for
Hmm.
dance. I forgot. Draw fun.
Tanzan.
Darfanweer Tanzan.
Yeah.
Yes. Just to focus upon friends, pronunciation is most important. So it becomes Durfen, Durfen
Durfen
wir,
Yeah.
yeah, Tanzan.
Tons.
Durfanweer Tanzan.
Durfan we're
Yeah.
Tanzan.
Durfen wir Tanzan, right?
Yeah.
Then I will take a last, maybe a maximum a couple of examples. Um, what do you want?
Was
Yeah, you're right.
Was
Was.
wollen Sie?
Yes, that can be was,
Won't
wollen Sie. Or if it were do form, then
Whilst.
was willst Sie? What willst du?
yes, was willst du, right? All right. So that's perfect. Any questions, friends? Any doubts or something till now? Okay, one
no, so
question.
far subject to practice from my perspective only.
Yeah, yeah, and yesterday's session also, that was
Yeah.
base platform. Many times we say, let's say if I am talking to Chetan, and Chetan has some different opinion. So what I will say, okay, as you wish. Okay, I agree. I surrendered to Chetan and I said, okay, as you wish, right? So this also can be framed in a modal verb. What do you think?
Okay. As you wish. Du magst. Sorry.
Yes, perfect. Yeah, yeah, you are right. You got it right. So here this sentence will turn into alles klar. Let's say if I'm having small argument with Chetan or just a heated discussion, and finally I said, okay, as you wish. So in German it will turn to alles klar, wie du magst. Simple. So this is the end of our discussion then. Alles klar, wie du magst. Right?
Why do we have we here?
Wie du magst is, um, how do I say it?
Whatever you want. I mean,
Yeah, I
We
mean,
means
we
how?
is,
How
yeah,
how you wish.
that's right, that's right. The literal meaning of we is how, but it is used in multiple senses as well. I mean, here also it's we do marxed only. I mean, I am unable to explain why it's so, but it has to be like this only, right?
Or maybe how you say. How you
Uh,
wish.
yeah, as you wish, normally we say na, so it is converted to we do marxed, right? Maybe you can take it as a fixed proverb sort of thing that we use we do marxed or as you wish. And alles klar, what this means is
All is
all
clear.
clear. Yes,
Okay.
all is clear. Or maybe here there is one more option. I'll write down. This looks a little more sophisticated. Here you can say einverstanden. Einverstanden, that is, I understood. Right? So both are same. I mean, at least in this context, both will look the same. Alles klar, wie du magst, that is, everything's fine as you wish. And einverstanden is I understand, wie du magst, as you wish.
But say, why can't we use we do mark test?
We do
Yeah, would
mark
like to.
a test.
Yeah, muse test.
Um, it will be, even in English, uh, okay, as you would like to. I mean, maybe it can be used, but in general English, we normally don't say na, that as you would like to, as
Yeah,
you like. We simply say,
yeah, but it
okay, as you
confuses
like.
because last time we said like I wish to have pizza. Then we used
Yeah.
mock this mock test. How do I pronounce it?
A möchtest.
Yeah,
Ich möchte.
muse. We used ich sorry, ich möchte pizza
Essen.
because
Yeah.
that was for the wish. I wish to eat pizza. Then ich möchte uh, pizza essen.
Mm-hmm.
So that was for the wish. But here again for the wish, we are replacing with maxed. So that means like to.
Yeah, but as I said, na, if
Confusing,
it
yeah.
were kind of a physics or chemistry sessions wherein there is some logic or formula behind, then you can use it one to one. But because there is language now, so as you have to just accept it as it goes.
Yeah.
And it is context.
Yeah, I mean, there are so many things. Even if you see English language also, I mean, there are hundreds of such exceptional cases, but we just have to accept it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, sure.
However, it can happen that maybe some dialect or some region in Germany, they may be using Möchte also in this sense. That's also possible. Maybe like we have to, or maybe I will see to it in more depth later on. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Thank
All right. So, other than this, any doubts or questions? Because now we are at the end of our session.
Yeah, Sid, maybe can we have a quick table for these W's? Usually,
You mentioned sometime back as well, man. Just a minute. I have a table. I'll just write down right away, so that can be useful to you guys. What's this? Just a minute. We normally call it as Wayfrage. Just a moment, because I would like to you guys to take a screenshot also. Wayfragen. All right. So the first one is wo. This becomes where. Just a moment. Okay. Wo is where. Then where. I'm writing this where right away because these are quite
I have
confusing.
pasted same in the chat as well.
Ah, okay. But anyways, let's have a quick
Yeah, yeah.
revision. Yeah, just a 5 minutes. Just make sure where pronounced the same as where in English. But these are both absolutely different, nothing to do with each other. Then when is whom and sorry, fourth is wem, W-E-M is to whom, right? So here you may observe once again, there was accusative and dative. So this wem is dative because it is to whom, yeah, and this one is accusative. All right. Fifth one was was that we just noted. That was what. And the sixth one is varum. Make sure, friends, you don't pronounce this as varum. Give some extra emphasis on varum. Yeah, like kind of a grumbling sound. Varum. Right?
Why?
Yeah. Then one, WANN is when. This is something like when only. One and when are sounds also the same, and they are used as same only. Right. But then there is one more called when. Make sure you don't confuse within these two, when
When?
and one. So,
Uh,
so when is it? Yeah. Okay. Then sorry, this was eighth. Ninth is woher. That is from where. Then tenth one is wohin. And this means where to. The elfth one is welch. WELCH is which is not much used. I think up to 10 only is sufficient, at least up to this levels. And the 12th one is V, is how. Okay. 13th is we feel. This make sure, friends, this is a little confusing, but you must remember it. We feel is how many. Okay. And 14th is we feel.
how
Here
much?
this E, yeah, this E is missing, huh? Just we give extra emphasis. This is how much. And the last one is Wesen. My writing is too bad here. Just a minute. Wesen is whose. So I think this is sufficient. I mean, these 15 W fragen, if you remember, that should be sufficient. So please take a screenshot as well. I will take also. Okay. All right, friends. So this was all for today. Should we wind up now?
Sure.
Yeah. So still, friends, I would request you. I will upload these videos and whatever stuff I have in our YouTube as well as in group. So please see it once again, at least in the middle of the week. At least this wave again and all this stuff you should keep on revising. And even this is most important because this modal verb, where it is. Let me find it. Yes, this is most important because this is something which is used literally in everyday life. I trust me, friends. If you just observe at least twice or thrice a day, you will find at least one of these modal verbs being used somewhere in your professional life or in personal life, right? So give extra emphasis and make sure that you spontaneously pick up the right modal verb at the right situation, right? Try to use Durfen as much as possible because that will give you a more and more success rates. So let's wind up for today, friends, and we will meet again next Saturday. See you then. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thanks, Sid.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.